everyone, Roger Gallegos here, founder and owner of Beacon Marketing. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I wanted to introduce a new series that we're going to be focusing on through the month of November, and that is time management. Specifically, how can you save time and become a more effective and efficient marketer during the holiday season. November usually starts the holiday season, which means we all have holiday parties to go to, the holidays themselves. There's days off, there's spending time with family, spending time with friends, going Christmas shopping, all those things that we love to do during the season, but all those things take away from the time that we would be doing our business activities. And one of the business activities that most often gets overlooked or pushed aside is marketing. Now, trust me, I've seen it for nearly 10 years. I've seen businesses tell themselves or tell me, you know what, we're not focusing on marketing right now because we just got to get to the end of the year. Because we have clients, we have to end our fiscal year. They focus on so many other things. And the problem with that, while it allows you to get your stuff done, you end up starting the new year with a deficit in terms of you don't have any content ready to go. You don't have a plan ready to go. You're sort of starting from scratch and you're behind the eight ball. And I've seen businesses take 4 to 8 weeks to get it up and running again. And if you're not starting off, if you're not an industry that lends itself to having really busy business in January and February, you can be behind the eight ball for that first quarter of the new year. And then the rest of the year, you're just scrambling to get caught up. Whereas if you find time to continue marketing your business, even if you do it a little bit of a lesser rate, but you still find time to do little things and then set yourself up to start the new year hitting the ground running, you got it. You're putting out fresh content. You're talking to your audience. You're engaging with them. You're inviting them to come talk to you. You're doing all those little things to keep your marketing going. Now, the best thing about these tips that we're going to be sharing is you could implement them now, but they're for year-round use. So you could start effectively and efficiently marketing your business now and see these benefits year-round, because there's no time frame for when these can be done. They're not time sensitive. They're any time of the year you could do these things. So with that said, I want to start talking about the first thing, which is doing your homework. Now, what I mean by that now sounds a little strange by saying, hey, we're going to save some time by adding some extra work in there. But what this does is when you're putting out content, you want to make sure you appear knowledgeable and show off your expertise. You can only go so far with experience because it's very hard to relate personal anecdotes and experience in your content. That's more stuff that you can relate on a one-on-one basis. So what you have to do, you have to fill those things in with stuff that's going on with your industry and with information that other people are seeing, so you could help them put it into context in how you could help them. Because most often what people do is they do searches, they get blogs, they see videos about your industry, and they have questions about that. And if you're not keyed into that and you're not seeing what's going on in your industry, you could appear out of touch and only worried about what you care about. And so you want to do your homework so you understand what your audience is looking for and what they need, and then address those needs using your knowledge and your expertise. So doing your homework will give you a great idea of who you're talking to and what they want to hear, so you're better able to put that into content. So here are some ways that here's some tips for doing your homework. First and foremost, and we say this with just about everything, is strategy and goals. You want to set your strategy and define your goals, because if you do that, then you're able to act like a roadmap. You're able to follow the path and say, here is what our strategy is, here's who we're targeting, here's the things that we want to accomplish with our goals, and so here's the content that we're going to get it. Here's the content we're going to use to get people to come to us. So the first thing is set your goals and strategy, and this bleeds into the next tip, which is make sure everything you do, everything you create is working towards those goals. You don't want to create a bunch of content and put a bunch of messaging that's not geared towards those goals. So if you're trying to get people to buy a certain product or contact you for a certain service, make sure your information supports that. The content supports that goal. Don't put out a bunch of stuff that's not going to support that. The third thing, we're on the third tip, is outline your content prior to developing, so you know what you need beforehand. And what I mean by that is, if you're writing a blog or you're doing a video, stop for a second and do an outline. Write up what you feel you're going to need. You don't have to write a full thing, but just say, we need this here, we need this here. That way you can say, oh, you know what, we need an image for this, we need to do a little bit more research here, we need to have our knowledge. So when you come to actually creating that content, you're just able to hit the ground running, and you're not stopping what you're doing and doing extra research. And I've been there, trust me, I've been at that point where I think I have everything, and then I start doing it, and then I end up spending an extra hour or two, and that just shoots your productivity in the foot, and all those time-saving tips are lost. So do a plan and know what you need beforehand. The fourth tip is, if you find an outline for like a blog or a video or any sort of content that you like, create a template out of that. So the next time you just fire up that template and you just fill in the blanks. It kind of goes along that idea of a roadmap. Sorry, that roadmap, that outline is a roadmap that you can follow. Say, we need this information here, and it makes that content creation a lot easier. Tip 5, and we touched on this a couple seconds ago, is do your research. This is where you're doing your homework and your research really plays in. Is fill in those little gaps where you need a little more information. Like if you say this idea, is it fleshed out enough? Take a few minutes, do some reading, do some research, and then say, oh, okay, let's put this here. Because chances are you know this information, but even me doing this for so long, I don't know everything about this business. I have to stop doing my research. Same thing for you. Just take a minute, understand what you're talking about, and fill in those gaps. Sorry. The last thing is revise and edit. Again, this sounds like we're adding an extra step, but if you stop real quick and go through and revise and make any edits, it saves time on having to later explain why you made the mistake or trying to fix it later. And it makes you look professional. That's really, if you put out a bunch of stuff that doesn't look well, you're not going to be professional. People aren't going to contact you or engage with you. That's just the fact of the matter. So you don't want to do all this work and have it not be professional. The last one, this is very important, and this will save you a lot of time. Delegate when and where you can. If there's something that you shouldn't be doing, like any of this research, if you feel like, hey, I don't want to be doing this research, have an employee or coworker do that. Say, hey, can you look up these things for me so I could do this video, so I could write this blog or do this other piece of content? Have them do it, or pick whatever task to lighten your load a bit. That will save you a ton of time. You don't have to do everything. So that's it. So I'll recap real quick. Create a strategy and set your goals. Make sure everything you create is working towards those goals. Outline your content beforehand so you know what you need. When possible, use templates. Do your research to ensure you're providing the correct info and you fill in any gaps. Revise and edit. Delegate when and where you can. So you do these tips year-round, particularly now during the holidays, you are going to be able to create content and promote and market your business much more efficiently and effectively. So throughout the year, you'll be able to reach your clients and engage, or you'll reach your audience and engage with them in a much faster and easier way, particularly during this holiday season. And then if you do that, you're going to hit the ground running in 2019, 20, 21, so on and so forth. So that's it for now. Next week, we're going to be talking about strategizing and planning ahead and how you could do that to further make your life easier when it comes to marketing. Please let me know your feedback, what you liked about the video, what you didn't like. Please share with anybody who you feel might be able to use this information. Of course, like it if you do like it. I have Beacon Marketing has a Facebook page where I do live updates every Friday at 10 a.m. Mountain. We have an Instagram account. So please check out there. We put a bunch of fun stuff out there. We're on LinkedIn. We have Twitter. So we're on all the big ones. I'm putting out a monthly newsletter. So if you want to be on that and you're not on that, let me know. Again, look for the rest of the videos this month. We focus on time management. If there's any questions you have, please feel free to ask. Again, Roger Gallegos, Beacon Marketing, 505-585-4487. Thank you for your time. You have a great day, and I look forward to speaking to you again. Thanks.